let's really talk about resources of the future. Thermax has now entered the green hydrogen market. So let's try and understand what exactly does this imply and what would it really mean for Thermax. We have with us Ashish Bhandari, the MD and CEO at the Thermax Group, joining in the show right now. Ashish, great to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Ashish, just wanted to understand this latest MOU of yours with Fortesque Future Industries. What is the role and scope for Thermax into green energy, and what possibly could be the level of investment for the purpose that you're willing to make at this juncture?
Good morning, and good morning to all your viewers. Certainly a very interesting previous discussion that was going on as well on what's happening in the larger banking sector, particularly in the US. Similar set of, but very, very big moves also happening, as we've been talking about, in the new energy space, where the entire mix of energy that the world is looking at, as we have said previously as well, is going to go through a transition over the next 5 to 10 years. And Thermax too is working to get itself prepared, and more importantly, work to get the larger industry ready for this transition. One of those moves in those set of things that Thermax wants to get done is the move towards green hydrogen. And this particular move for green hydrogen will involve a lot of different individual but connected steps. The biggest step of which is figuring out what is it that we want to do in the electrolyzer space, and a couple of the connected capabilities in that particular space for green hydrogen. So the partnership with Fortesque Future Industries is towards getting Thermax moving on 3 different aspects of green hydrogen. First is the ability to do EPC of green hydrogen projects, which is helping our customers set up these large projects. And you can see even in at some of the other announcements that were happening, there are a lot of companies in India looking to set up green hydrogen projects. Thermax can come in and provide an EPC for these customers. Second, we want to very actively explore manufacturing of electrolyzers in India, and looking at FFI, which is Fortesque, as a partner for setting up this manufacturing. Here we are waiting for some of the PLI schemes and some of the other sectoral moves that are anticipated. We are just getting ready in advance of some of these other moves that will happen. And third is the ability to offer green hydrogen as a service, as a product on a build, own, operate basis to industrial customers. So industrial customers in steel, fertilizers, even refining, many of them that look to move from gray hydrogen to green hydrogen, providing green hydrogen as a service to those customers. So the EPC, electrolyzer manufacturing, and build, own, operate, those are the 3 elements that are part of the MOU that we have done with Fortesque.
What will be a total initial outgo? And are these long gestation projects where you'll have to invest a lot and the returns will only come after 3 years?
So first, in terms of how much investment, we have some order of investment that we have done internally. Too early to talk about, because a lot of it will depend on how the sector overall takes off and what are some of the government policies that are anticipated as well. So I'll hold off in terms of investment value. Of the 3 elements that we talked about, EPC clearly is a relatively lower cost, more a people investment in putting a whole team together to be able to do all of this, that we are committed to. Second is electrolyzer manufacturing. That is, while it is a slightly variable area, it is something that we have a range of numbers based on whether we want to set up at the higher end a 1 gigawatt facility, or at the lower end a 250 kilowatt facility, depending on the range that we want to go for. We have a range of what the capex that will be involved. The third part, which is more longer gestation and perhaps longer contracts, is the build, own, operate version, which, as I said, we will limit ourselves primarily to industrial customers and to smaller projects, which is not Thermax's intent to go for large utility scale projects. For the large utility scale projects, our aim is to more provide the EPC and the electrolyzer capability.
Sure. Also wanted to understand whether you're going to be exploring these green hydrogen projects outside the country as well.
So on the outside the country, the first and the second elements, which is the EPC and the electrolyzer manufacturing capability that we look to put in place, will both be for India as well as for global markets. And we do think this is competency where India as a country provides strong engineering basis, and with some of the benefits that are expected from the government, potentially a strong made in India and a manufacturing basis as well. So for the first two buckets that I spoke about, yes, we will explore global opportunities as well.
Could you give me some, visibility on what the order book could look like, both as, exports as well as domestic?
I think too early to say, and we may have to wait as much as a year to get any visibility into these things. Yeah, even on the Indian front, I would say the last few months, things have been slightly slower than what I would have expected. The PLI for electrolyzers, it's not imminent when they will come out. Also, there was expectation that certain industries will mandatorily have to use some amount of hydrogen as green hydrogen. That policy is also now being passed on to an empowered group, which is the news that came out last week, as opposed to the MNRE deciding on some of these requirements for the industries. So I think that decision and that discussion will also prolong for a little bit. We come in with the confidence that both of these things, it's not a matter of whether it will happen or not, they're more a matter of when it will happen. And we are looking at the sector more for the next 10, 20 years and not in the immediate next 12 months, I would say.
Fair point. But tell me, green hydrogen, I'm guessing, requires a lot of R&D and economies of scale as well, right? What are the roadblocks that you see in the implementation of green hydrogen technology?
I think you hit the nail on the hammer on the head of the nail. The two biggest things are, one, technology and R&D. Here, there's some parts of technology, especially the ones around how the electrolyzer cost and the efficiency of the electrolyzer improves, is a area where globally there is a lot of work that is going on. And even today, you can think of maybe there are 50 plus startups that are working on some aspect of electrolyzer portion globally. And the partnership that we have done is also done with that in mind, that you want to have a partner which is working at the cutting edge of this technology and is working not just for where the technology is today and tomorrow, but for where the technology may be 5 years from now. And that was the toughest part of the work that went into choosing who the right partner would be. And in FFI, we think we have the right partner. For FFI also, the question then is, where do they want to expand? Because there are a lot of opportunities globally for them to expand. And if they are choosing India as a market, India should have the necessary basis on why this is a place where they would like to expand, which in their opinion it does. And then second is, why would they want to choose Thermax as a partner? And that is basis of our engineering capabilities, our ability to localize, our ability to understand all the various elements. So the idea on R&D is to partner with best of what the research can bring about, and then how do you localize something? And if you can marry the two elements out, then you have a good partnership, which is what we think.
Seem to have snapped the audio right there. But Ashish, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out and helping us understand what green hydrogen really is all about and what it means for your business after the MOU with Fortescue Future Industries as well.